Hello again everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. Ooh, very nice. That's a good way to start the stream. Thursday's stream is ready then by the looks of it. So we've got today's live stream here at Gothenburg. Tomorrow we're off to Liège in Belgium. And on Thursday, by the looks of it, we're now off to Australia for the new AU scene, Hamilton Island. So 3 great new sceneries to go and enjoy over the next few days. It's great to have you on board with us as well. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Please do hit like and subscribe, and come and say hello in the live chat. Justin, welcome. Upgrading or joining us as a gold frequent flyer. Appreciate the support there. Thanks for becoming a member. Zato, Samuel, Rab as well. Good afternoon, folks. Matthew F and Adam. Hello, guys. And yeah, today, as Valley has said, we are flying across Sweden today. Beginning at the new Orbx Gothenburg Airport. Good morning, Graham. Living on a player, welcome. And we're off for the very short hop across to Stockholm Arlanda with the Asobo default handcrafted scenery, which I think was created for that Scandinavian World Update by Gaia Simulations, potentially. Zato, nice. Are you going to be in the 727 then, by any chance? We are flying the CRJ900, the fantastic aerosoft CRJ900. Let me get rid of Nightbot. I don't know how it reactivates itself. I definitely turned that off last stream. But there's no giveaway today. Every time we do one of these on Nightbot, it reactivates itself. Right, that's gone. Get out of here. Tim, so this is the new Orbx scenery. Orbx Gothenburg version 2. Recently updated in a free update. Take note, MK Studios. For Gothenburg in MSFS. And it's my first look at the scenery as well, because we never had the chance to kind of preview it or anything like that. Post-release I had a little conversation with Orbx about having a look at the scenery, and they sent it over for us to have a little peek at. I mean, all on the apron at least at the moment, it looks quite nice. Some of the textures, bearing in mind I'm in 4K, and you guys should be able to see this in 2K. 60 frames per second as well. The roof and things look a bit blurry there, look. That's not that great. This looks pretty cool though. I love the weathered look on the side of the hangar there. Good old Babcock, they get everywhere, don't they? Arjun, welcome. Hergy as well, hello to you. Number of different toggleable options with this scenery. Certainly in the winter months when it's full of snow, you can get the snow mounds and things put into the scenery, which is really quite nice. The one thing I had noticed loading in prior to commencing today's stream demo, design's good afternoon. The landside areas are pretty rubbish. It looks kind of half finished. If you look on the landside section, I haven't watched any of the content or previews or anything like that from anyone else. So I don't know if this has already been kind of mentioned or raised, but it looks a little bit like Mako Sims Birmingham, where the apron and the airside section looks really quite exquisite. You then venture to the landside section to look at the other side of the terminal, and it's kind of like satellite imagery, blurry textures. It does kind of wash it out and ruin it somewhat. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see what I mean there. And then right in the middle, just random sort of street lights, which I'm sure probably look really quite nice at the evening, but they do look a little bit out of place in my mind. But it's a huge update that they've done for the scenery. Gothenburg version 1 was particularly rubbish. The static aircraft, for example, you couldn't toggle those on and off. So most of the apron was almost unusable, and we haven't actually flown into or out of Gothenburg for well over maybe 2 years, because of that issue with the statics. Thankfully here you can turn them off now. That looks really good. Look at the detail on the Scandic Hotel, I think. Be interesting to know what you guys think if you live nearby or are familiar with the airport. The cargo section does look quite nice. Like I said, the apron side is pretty decent. The land side section does kind of let it down a little bit. If we pan around a bit here, the car park's empty. They've got the Volvo dealership and this Park It Smart section here, this car park. But again, it's just bare, isn't it? Which is a bit weird. Yeah, all the car parks are just empty. Why not fill them up with some vehicles at least? I don't really get it. No, I mean, they've done it on the car park here though, the multi-story, which does look quite nice from here. How much is this buying it new? For a free update, don't really mind because I've owned it for 2 odd years now. Purchased it a couple of years ago, and it's then included in an update which we've all received. But the textures on the car park there look really bad as well, don't they? And the control tower looks quite nice, prominent in the backdrop of the airport, of course. But no interior, no snazzy glass like we've been enjoying with a lot of sceneries recently. The modelling on the outside of the tower though does look very, very nice. So we're going to have a cursory look around the airport today. Before our departure, we've got about 15 minutes max before we've got to be off blocks. Enough time to have a look at some of the features of this new scenery update. And then we're going to head off to Arlanda, turn around and fly back again to complete the look once more. Here's part of the terminal extension with those glass jetties. What have we got down here? Nothing really. Lots of remote stands. I mean, yeah, you move to the apron area and it's night and day compared to landside. Look at the textures and the details here. £11.86 RAB is actually pretty good, isn't it, to be fair? You could then forgive it for not worrying too much about the landside. It is akin to the pricing of a Mako Simulations airport, for example. And ultimately, if we're honest, I'm sure you guys may agree, you might not agree, but do let us know in the chat, of course. It doesn't really matter massively about what happens with the landside section because we are in a flight simulator and we are flying aircraft which begin on the apron and end on the apron. Poke our head in as well because there's a little bit of an interior. The textures are really nice. Be interested to know if that's a Null Aero BDGS. The interior is pretty decent as well, look. Very nice. Picture of WH Smiths. And the glass here actually very, very good. Look at the clarity of it. Really nice. Oh wow. It's an outdoor section. Check this out. Oh, no it's not. Oh, well there's an issue with the scenery right there, look. Has anyone noticed that on any of the preview videos? I thought it was an outdoor bit, but it's not. Oh wow, my goodness, what the heck. I wonder if we're supposed to be kind of mooching around this bit. Even the outside here. Wow, look at that. It's like the sides of the buildings are all missing. Those of you who have already got this scenery, are you getting the same kind of behaviour with the scenery, or is it something else? It'd be interesting to know if the previews from these streamers that get the special preview versions have actually mentioned any of these problems, because these are quite significant and they're hard to miss unless you actively avoid it. Yeah, it looks the same as yours. So yeah, so it's a scenery wide issue. Even the leveling there, there's a big old gap. Look. Oh, this is a bit weird, isn't it? Then kind of looking through it all. But here we are anyway, in the open air terminal. And we're at stand 15, which again from the outside does look very nice. I love the little animated tugs and things in the baggage carts whizzing around. Nice touch, which I think began from Aerosoft Brussels a little while ago, over about a year ago now. But let's have a little look to see what we are doing today in this beautiful Scandinavian Air Service CRJ. So, Navigraph. The winds at the moment at Gothenburg are 060 degrees at 16 knots. Variable between 020 and 090 degrees. And CAV 13 degrees. -3 for the dew point and the QNH 1013. In fact, the winds changed slightly. It's 060 at 14 now with the new METAR. Variable 020 and 080, QNH 1035. Yeah, did any of the folks previewing it actually pick up on any of that? They must have done, surely. Okay, we're on mode white. We've not flown this in multiple months, many months. I'm trying to remember how to kind of do it all, but if we look at the charts then. We're going to push and start, facing south on the apron, taxi down Kilo, Yankee, down to, how long's the runway? 3299. Hold point Bravo, runway 03 for a little intersection departure. Taking off, heading northbound, Laban 3 Mike departure 03. Initially runway heading for 1.3 miles. And then turning northeasterly all the way up to Laban. Initially climbing to 5,000, but we are on Unicom. We'll continue to climb all the way up to our cruise today, which I've tweaked slightly, Doc. I'm going for flight level 310. Wesley, good evening. Demo Design saying Burning Blue released their Thruxton airfield the other day. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure how much we need racing cars in a sim though, as part of the scenery. But again, I've not taken a look at it, so I suppose I can't really comment too much. Short trip across Sweden. As you can see, pretty much heading northeasterly in a straight line all the way. Laban, Detso, Pellet, Torva, ARS, and then Eltok. From there, Eltok 7 Mike. Which is going to be at or below flight level 110. Then outbound 105 degrees to SA 820, 854, at or above flight level 80. At or below, sorry. Then down to the Lena NDB for the initial approach fix, runway 01. Left, where we're going to expect the ILS approach into Arlanda. And apparently it's been patched since the last sim update. Hergy says Gothenburg has got standard outbound taxi routes. Let's find them. Yes, there you go. So stand 15. Push start, face north, and then we're going to go out here then, look, following the arrow, out of the apron onto Zulu. Zulu, Kilo, Yankee, and away. Taxiway Zulu used for out taxiing. Yoep, good afternoon. I've spoke to Wesley, interestingly enough. But I'll leave it at that. Don't want you guys dragged into stuff that's nothing really to do with any of us. Hope you're well anyway. Runway heading was 022. So, make sure that is set. There we go. 5,000. Speed is set to V2 plus 10, which is 164 on the speed bug already. And Landvetter VOR 1146. Oh, nice. It's already auto-tuned in. Happy days. That's pretty decent. God, I'm trying to remember how this jet works. Okay, let's get the APU on. Power, fuel. Start, stop. Hydraulics are on. Emergency lights armed. Landing lights recognition, taxi lights, we don't need those on, that's fine. We're going to wait for the APU to fire up, which is
Gothenburg
here.
traffic, g'day, Osprey 3400, pushing gate 19 for runway 03, Gothenburg.
Let's push back a departure. Performance-wise, folks, that's what we're on. Full of passengers, 90 packs, 1.6 tons of cargo, almost 1.7 tons of cargo, and a takeoff trim of 6.9, which we've set.
We are ready for pushback.
Passenger door closed. Ground power cart disconnected. Park brake is on, turned and pulled, so wheel chocks removed. Get rid of that screen because we don't want to actively or accidentally click any of those. Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo, stand 15, push and start to face south. I'm going to have to remember how to start this up. And remember, with this aircraft as well, folks, there is no auto throttle. So it's down to us to kind of manage that throughout, beyond climb.
And Gothenburg traffic.
Pop aircon off for now.
For Golf 727-200. They're pushing back at 1-4 facing south after the Scandinavian CRJ.
Nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Off.
Commencing push.
Let's see if we can get this started up.
Start at wheel.
So, continuous ignition on, and engine left. Start. Watching the N2 rise. Yeah, you have auto thrust for the climb, that's easy. Cries in 727 and 747-200. You chose the harder aeroplanes, not me. I've got to say, Hergy, I do like that little bit with GSX. Hey look, we got the tinky winky little tug as well. I do like that. It's nice to be flying back out of Gothenburg as well. It's been quite a while since we've last been able to even fly up here because of those straighting statics in the previous version of the scenery. Oh, that's interesting. Something's just gone pinging off my next level racing seat. There we go. Ah, it's the handle. Trying to get my seat in the correct position for our departure today. Whoosh, there we go. We're clunking away in the background. Okay, so that's on, and we need engine right started.
Please set parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground.
Set.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
N2. Through 20, add the fuel.
Unlocking gear.
Bring that range in as well, and we're going to pop bearing FMS. VOR1 actually, and then we'll have FMS2 selected on those. Yaw damper is there, so 1 and 2. Checking the CAS.
Pin removed.
We'll leave continuous ignition on for departure.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Air conditioning can go back on. Boost pumps are on anyway, they're being used now actively. Engine start is complete. Don't need to transfer anything across in this one from memory, but before I commit to turning the APU off, I just want to double check. So windshield
Gothenburg
heats off,
traffic,
brake heats
Osprey
off,
3400, taxiing Zulu, Juliet, Yankee, Yankee for 03 departure,
and flaps 8.
Gothenburg.
1, 8, 2 stages. Thrust reversers armed, I think. Trying to remember all of this from memory just to make it easier, and then control surface check. So fully right, fully left. Got the ground pin on the left hand side there from the controller. David, welcome. Back to the centre. If you haven't got the aerosoft CRJ actually, and you do fancy it folks, then the link for it for the CRJ bundle, which gets you the CRJ 550, 700, 900 and 1000 is linked in the description for today. And I can highly recommend the bundle because it saves you a little bit I think in total, but it also then means that you get the opportunity to have speed. Yeah, none of that's armed until departure. Flight directors need to go on though because we're in roll and pitch mode. They're linked. I'll break off and turning right on hotel. David, hello. This was last updated quite a while ago actually, I think. I don't know when it's recently been updated. Not anytime soon. Gothenburg traffic. Scandinavian 22 Bravos taxiing to runway 03, hold point Bravo via Hotel Zulu and Yankee. Gothenburg traffic.
Gothenburg traffic on 3484 Golf, commencing pushback.
It's such a cool looking jet. Let's start the SAS safety brief. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay. Oof. Nose wheel steering. I always forget that. I remember that from last time as well. I forgot it last time. And the centre nose lights can come on as well.
Your seatbelt is fastened and open like this, and always keep it fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on. And we do recommend that.
Cass, we've got takeoff config OK, left, right, both armed. Continuous ignition is on. Seatbelt signs and no smoking signs are on, and trim is set 6.9. Fuel's good. Landing elevation set in case it turned back. Brake temperatures are good. APU door is closed. Yeah, I've got to say the textures here are pretty fantastic as well. Look at that.
You will find your life vest under your seat. Pull the vest over your head and pass the strap around your waist. Fasten the buckle and tighten the strap. When leaving through the exit, you place the vest by pulling the tab.
There's a first glimpse of a windsock showing it's almost sideways actually, so that's pretty gusty. There it is. It does seem to be the aerosoft way, doesn't it, David? Who knows, hopefully this will get a good update in the near future, but again, this is the first time we've flown it for a little while, so it might not even need an update, in fairness. I suppose it is certainly angled at that kind of mid-range fidelity as well. That's on, TCAS or transponders on. Rudder and aileron trim set neutral. Yeah, it's probably a good way of summing it up actually, Hergy. What you can see out the flight deck window is really nice, which is the main thing, is it's the bulk of what makes the scenery good or not. Beyond the aircraft though, and the apron, it kind of slips away from what we can see on the landside areas. For 11 quid's not too bad though. If it was say 20, I would expect a whole lot more. Tomorrow's flight into, out of Liège, we're off to Rhodes tomorrow. And we are flying out of the new Simulations Liège airport, which is primarily a cargo airport, one of, I think, the 5th busiest in Europe, I think it was. But we're flying TUI Fly ops in the 737-800 out to Rhodes. Now, it's about £20 that scenery tomorrow, the Simulations Liège, so it's got to be good. For that price, I'd expect perfection. Certainly in an MSFS scenery, with the RTX4090 now and running the sim in 4K, you can't really hide from that. I notice everything on the screen now. And hopefully with you guys being able to watch the stream in 2K, it will help you guys work out what you think of the sceneries that we'll be previewing going forwards as well. It's going to be a bit of a crash course refresh at this on flying the CRJ because it has been quite a few months.
And on the traffic of people texting to via Hotel Yankee and holding point Bravo. Gothenburg traffic.
Rab, nice. Airborne already, wow. Dead Leg Media, good stuff, hello to you. Make sure your seat's in the upright position as well. The armrest's down. Right, Jerry, welcome. Oh yeah, I remember this from before as well. I just remembered that being one of the features that we laughed about previously. Storm Rider, welcome. Ronnie, welcome. He's back flying all CRJs as well. Had the same issues, had quickly relearned everything. Yeah, you've got to knock the rust off sometimes with some of these add-ons. Certainly when we haven't flown them for a little while and we're used to flying with a particular flow in another aeroplane, it does need us to just rejig ourselves a little bit.
Gothenburg traffic, Osprey 124, taxi the whole point. Runway 03 via...
Doc, busy.
Juliet and Yankee, Gothenburg traffic.
Might have to pester you for some routes in advance then. Tomorrow, Liege to Rhodes, and Thursday, Brisbane to Hamilton Island, the new AU scene scenery releasing this weekend at some point. So we're going to depart initially. I think I remember the flow being after takeoff. Continuous ignition off, manual crossflow off. When the gear lever's up, no lights. We then have we look at arm autopilot. We'll want nav mode or heading mode and speed mode to maintain speed. Then autopilot engage. Then we can deactivate the two little manual arming switches for the thrust reversers. But we'll need to remember to put those back on again prior to our arrival, otherwise we will land with no reverse. Ooh, big engine. There it is. I was say I thought there was an Osprey at the whole point. He's gone already. Rab saying Big Jet TV are putting Haneda off until later in the year now. Interesting. That'd be great actually. Haneda's a wonderful airport and Japan itself is a stunning country. Okay, at the hold there, manual crossflow override. Yeah, ice is required, windshield heat as required.
3400, airborne runway 03, climb to 5000, Gothenburg. And via the Labour 3 Mike departure for Osprey 3400.
I think we've got to press that button as well to activate Toga, I think. And at Bravo, lining up. Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravos lining up at Bravo, runway 03. Nice textures there. And the little wigwags. Check the windsock, we can see that.
Gothenburg traffic stop departing from the track 02 via Bravo.
Somebody's underwater, whoever that was. Packs are on, air conditioning is on. I'm worried I've missed something, even though I know I haven't.
Gothenburg traffic, Osprey 3400 at 5,000, climbing to flight level.
Toga, take off, take off.
Gothenburg.
One of those is a Toga screw keybind, I think, from memory as well. Runway textures look very nice. Rotafib, hello. Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo taking off 03. Laban 3 Mike departure, Gothenburg. Toga. Cross set. Speed's alive.
Gothenburg traffic Osprey 44 Golf lining up 03 via Bravo.
Through at 100 knots now, already accelerating nice and quick, coming up to our V1 speeds. V1, rotate. V2. We keep that wings up. There we go. Positive 8, gear up. Match the flight director. Still manual flight for now. Just staring at the flight directors currently. Make sure we fly to those. Looking across, we want, in fact let's go nav mode, speed mode, autopilot engage. There we go, so she's got the plane. Down here, thrust reversers, disarm, taxi lights off, continuous ignition off, manual crossflow override off. I think we are there. Let's continue to accelerate. We'll go up to 250. Into the climb gate. And we'll keep the climb going. Not 50,000. Whoosh. Bloody hell. 31. Not 31,800. There we go. Oh yes, the good old wigwags. Clear the flaps. And the slats.
Gothenburg traffic, Ryanair 9 Bravo, pushing start stand 20.
Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo's airborne, 5,000 feet outbound Laban.
With your seatbelt securely fastened whenever the seatbelt sign overhead is illuminated. We do advise you to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartments in case anything should fall out and cause injury to yourself.
Yes, Ronnie, that's a good point as well. We've got to recenter that heading bug. I mean, we're pretty much flying straight now, so we'll do that now. Right click, left click.
Osprey 44 Golf departing via the Laban 3 Mike departure.
Going to be through 10,000 in a moment as well.
Traffic runway 3, Gothenburg traffic.
Seatbelt signs off.
Gothenburg traffic, Bosman 1 Foxtrot will be taxiing to runway 03 via Golf.
Doc, I know.
And holding
oh
short,
god, do you imagine?
Gothenburg traffic.
Be absolutely calamitous, wouldn't it? Here we go. First flight in a long time in the CRJ. At least we're airborne. Event free so far. We've got to get down, turn around and go back again without any other problems, but otherwise looking pretty good. The livery itself from flightsim.to is part of a pack with about 6 or 7 different versions of this livery available, but quite exquisite. The livery, really well made. Landing lights. Yeah. And speed. Up we go. (290) max 7.4. Good, that's what we'll set. James, welcome. It's a very cool looking jet, and I think I remember at the time saying that certainly when the more complex aircraft like the 737s come out, which had a blend of modern plus manual kind of flying, blended in with modern automation, if you can fly this, you can fly the 737. It certainly did make it easier. But it's also unique, so for these short hops, this is perfect for that sort of stuff. Certainly in lieu of an ATR, but an ATR is also coming imminently from Microsoft over the next week or two, hopefully. We will have the Hans Hartmann ATR, the Microsoft ATR 72 coming soon. Hans, of course, was a primary developer involved in the creation of this CRJ and the Twin Otter for Aerosoft. $14,000. Let's extend the range. Mayday, no. Am I thinking about getting X-Plane 12? No, I'm not. To be fair, a lot of the kind of people that have got X-Plane 12 have had mixed reviews saying they've gone back to X-Plane 11. Some of them really liking it, some of them not. Some people still switching now actively to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Where are we at then? So we've already got the arrival input as well for this because it is a short service. This is a very short sector. So LTOC is the beginning of our arrival. LTOC 7 mic for 01 left. If we then look at these, we're climbing away here. I'll be managing the thrust while we chat. If we look at Navigraph, we've done that bit. Eventually we're going to reach LTOC as we saw at the beginning. There's a hold there of 1.5 minute legs. Should it get very busy. Oh, I think I didn't set the transition altitude. I thought it was 8,000 feet, 18,000 feet. What is the transition level here? I'm going to have to find out now. Oh, 6,000. Whoops. Let me just do that very quickly in here. We'll do flight level 60. Right, where were we? So, split screen. Heading into LTOC on the 7 mic arrival, we're going to be heading south towards Lena. So we can tune the ADF of 330 in. There's a hold at Lena as well if it's busy. And we got the routing there for the LTOC 7 mic, expecting ILS 01 left by the LNA NDB. Expect speed restrictions before entering the TMA. Plan descent, so the highest entry level into the TMA is not exceeded in spite of speed restrictions. From LNA, or the Lena NDB, we're going to self-vector ourselves out towards final. So we're not going to do this this procedural kind of ILS entry. What we're going to do is just get ourselves down to 2,500 feet, somewhere south of this ILS here, southwesterly, and then vector in for a 30-degree ILS intercept, 004 degrees, into runway 01 left. We have to make sure, of course, in the aircraft that it's got the ILS tuned in of 1099 and the course of 004, and we might trigger DME hold for that as well, or VOR hold, or whatever it's called in this. Not quite remember. We'll have a look in a moment. And then I'll land a 116.0 for the VOR. Missed approach, climb straight ahead to 600 feet or 1.7 DME from the threshold, whichever is later. Turn left on track 328, climb to 1,500 and radar vectors for a new approach. Minimums, 299 for the MDA. So we'll use that as well. Actually, hold on. There's a Cat 2 ILS there as well. But we'll set that one, because I'm going to try and hand fly the last little bit in. I do want to give that a good go again in this. When we vacate, 01 left. We're going to probably vacate Yankee 6, maybe at a push if we're too gentle on the brakes. Yankee 8 down here. We're going to taxi into Terminal 5. And then we're going to turn around and fly back the same direction, the opposite direction, back to where we started. Very nice. Well, the A310 is still a decent long hauler, James, to be fair. Yeah, the 737-600 from PMDG being about 30 quid, that's insane value, but a good one for these little hops as well. But it depends if you then want a different variant and you want to treat yourself to something else like the Barbie jet, the CRJ. Nice to have different things, isn't it, I suppose. How are we doing? 26,000. We're quite quickly into our approach as well, to be fair. That's on auto and auto. ADF 330. And we need to remember with this, I can't set the course yet. That needs to be done just prior to our arrival as well. Top of descent in 80 miles already. There's no auto brake on the aeroplane, so braking's down to us. I say as I'm trying to rejig my own memory here. Oh yes, landing elevation. 138. 380. 80. 20, 120, 140. Lovely, that's as close as we can get. That's alright, Doc, I don't mind a little bit of self-vectoring. Ronnie says, please use the hood when landing. You know what, I find it insanely distracting. I've never been a fan of the hood. Look at those wing views. First time flying over Scandinavia in over 6 months, where it's been sunny below and snow free. Cornelius, welcome. That sounded like the altitude C chord. It is. So, the throttle's going to be ours imminently then. Hergy says he's also never liked the hood in flight sim, kills immersion. Yeah, I just find it more of a distraction. Yeah, I've never been a fan of any of the hoods actually in any of the aeroplanes, so I tend to actively avoid them. 299, we need to set that. MDA. $299, we round that up, it's going to be 300. Altitude capture is flashing. Top descent in 50 miles. Transair, sorry, I did see your hello to you. I did see your message earlier. I forgot to respond, sorry. Saying hello, Luke, I think you'll love going into Hamilton Island. A very pretty place and great fun to fly in and out of in the 737. Okay, let's take over the throttles then. They're for us to deal with. So we're going to try and maintain 290 again at flight level 310 for the time being. So we're going to set a thrust, which is going to be around here. somewhere in the 85-ish % M1, and we'll just let it stabilise. So we'll watch the N2 stabilise there around 85, and then we're just going to watch the needle to see what it's doing. It suggests we're accelerating ever so slightly actually. So if I drop it down a couple of %, we'll just see where it settles. And it's pointless us chasing it, going up and down, because that's when it gets quite messy. And it becomes quite difficult and tiring to try and manage the speed. What you want to do is set that speed bug and then just hold it. Allow yourself to VNAV cruise max 7.4, so we're flying quicker than we need to. We'll leave it at max 7.8 for now. Mayday, that's the one, yeah. So it's going to be great. Hans is a fantastic developer. So my rule in this, from memory before, is as long as the speed indicator here, the little arrow, stays within the pink, the magenta range of around max 7.8, albeit the lower end here might be max 7.7, the higher end might be max 7.9, but as long as it stays roughly in that speed bug, I don't need to chase the throttle. Now, 83% N1 at flight level 310 and our current weight suggests that actually that's perfect, because we can see there's no little bit of magenta above or below the line bit of this white arrow, which suggests we're either accelerating if the little pink line is above, or if the pink line is below, decelerating. So it's sat in the middle. Become a little closer. Yeah, there we go, look at that. So it's sat almost right in the middle there, but it's not going up or down. We're just holding the speed quite nicely at the thrust, the N1 that we've set. Rushik, hello to you. Yeah, we've got a 32 knot headwind, ground speed of 418 there. 40 miles to top of descent now. Cythera, good evening. I hope you're well, buddy. I'm very good, thank you. Been an interesting couple of days, stressful few days, but we're over the other side of it at least. On to some more days off. Let's have a quick refresh of these checks. So signs on, thrust reversers armed. Oh, that's descent actually, hold on. Landing elevation set, fuel checked, TCAS set, radar on or off, CAS checked, landing data set, approach brief complete. I think we've done all of that, haven't we? Oh, I forgot the flex temp. Oh no, actually it wiped after departure, I think, from memory. And we've resynced the transition flight level there, because I got that wrong on the departure. That's fine. So the one to watch is going to be the split, the auto on the FMS there. We want to make sure that they both become 1099. We should get an FMS will auto tune or something down here as a memo, and that's the aeroplane telling us not to touch anything. It's going to do it automatically for us. We then cross check the data. Yeah, Mayday, I suppose it never needed to. Certainly if we're flying these sort of routes, you're not flying the extended routes where you're burning loads of fuel and having to tweak the thrust all the time, but at the same time, even if you were, it wouldn't matter too much either. So look, our speed's just dropped down ever so slightly. It's still in the range, so I'm not going to chase it, because it is fairly stable at the moment, and in the next 35 miles now we're going to get the nose down for descent. 11,000 at or below for LTOC. Now this does have a coupled VNAV in this, the CRJ900, so we could use the VNAV, but when we flew this last time, Matthew Presley, one of our channel members, he was, before now he's flying the big jets, he's on the 767, I think soon to be the Dreamliner as well. Instead, he's changing type once more, but he previously spent years flying the CRJ in real life in the States. Gave me a lot of information about how to learn it in the best way and some of the good flows that he used in real life too. So that's what we try and replicate. Use some of the advice that he's given me throughout multiple kind of streams and things. Like the N1 trick. I'm actually going to bump that up a little bit of 1%, 2% maybe, just to keep that speed up. It's at the bottom of that pink speed bug now, so it's at the time where we can be a bit proactive and just increase by 1% just to help keep it in that speed bug. It should hold it there nicely. The big thing is when you're setting the throttle calibration in this, making sure you have a good range between idle and climb so you can make very small adjustments to the thrust. Again, another little tip. So what do we want to be at? 11,000 roughly. I'll put my teeth in. Bear Aviation, good morning. Over in California, where the sun is just starting to think of rising. Very nice, good morning to you. Wonderful part of the States. Love the Aerosoft CRJ series for sure, he says. It's a great little bit of kit, isn't it? It's a really good add-on for the sim. Plus, what I do like as well with this is those big wrap-round windows. Great for visibility, but also great for taking in those wonderful Microsoft Flight Simulator views. Look at that. Huge side panel window. Oh no, I do have TCAS on. Okay. Let's set the altitude bug then. So still on altitude hold for now. We're going to set 11,000. Set. Hey, this is James. This is the perfect middle ground add-on for the sim, but it does need you to learn the quirks of the jet. I have done from a little while ago now some Aerosoft CRJ tutorials. So if this is the sort of jet that you did want to get your hands on and kind of try and learn, then I have got some tutorials for you to help you learn the jet across I think 3 episodes again. I can highly recommend it. It was for a long time actually when it did get released. Those of you remembered, we had very limited options in the sim at the time, didn't we? But this was my favourite by far. Vertical speed mode then, we're going to have the snowball down here from memory indicating our VNAV path that we need. Oh, we met the longitude rad, nice one. Back in town, Mike, with the CRJ indeed. Great to be back in it. Let's bring that vertical speed down. We'll set 800. Just as we're crossing top of descent now, we'll go for 1,000 and we'll see what happens with the VNAV. So we have an advisory VNAV in this. So we're going to get a snowflake here on the right hand side, and then we're going to get a guidance ball on this vertical speed monitor as we cross top of descent now, telling us roughly where we need to go. Actually, I remember as well in here, LTOC 2,200 feet per minute. There we go. So if we set 2.2, there's the snowflake and there's the ball. So now we're actively setting our vertical speed to match that. That was it, Cytherea. It was one or the other, wasn't it? It was the first payware aircraft to come to the sim airliner wise. So we had this and the Flyboy A32NX to choose from. Beyond that, then a couple of general aviation aeroplanes and stuff too, but still a really firm favourite of mine. I'm going to go for speed 290 on conversion here. And down we go, already. Need to set VREF as well there in the performance page when we get closer. and the ESSA META for Stockholm Arlanda. Wind 030 degrees at 17 knots. Ceiling and visibility okay. Temperatures 13 degrees. QNH, dew points -3 QNH 1036. What was that button? 4. That's a bit better. Check our speed. Actually doing quite nicely. I might drop it another %. They operate this flight in real life with the CRJ900, the ATR75, I think it is, the AT75 ATR, or one of the ATRs anyway that Scandinavian Air Service has got, and also the A320neo on occasion too. So there's good flexibility on these very short flights. But the ATR I think would probably be the most efficient economically for the airline. Speed's creeping. Bring the M1 back a bit more.
Arlanda Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, descending to flight level 110 by the Alto 7 Mike arrival for runway 1 left, Arlanda, Stockholm.
Yeah, we could do with a decent Boeing 747, couldn't we, James? In the sim, most definitely. Change that VNAV setting a little bit.
We're now preparing the cabin for landing. Please make sure that your mobile phone and all other electronic devices are set to flight mode. Please turn off your laptop and start in your cabin baggage. Cabin baggage shall be placed under the seat in front of you or in the overhead compartment. Raise your seat back and tables in upright position, and furthermore the window blinds must be open.
So we're actually higher than we realised. The QNH 1036 we're expecting to have the altitude when we pass the transition level increase by maybe about 1,000 feet. Simulator guy, with my system now with the RTX4090, most of the time I'm running at 4K in around 40 to 60 frames per second. Typically with the smaller sceneries, Gothenburg, in cruise as well, it's 60 frames per second. But I've got the sim capped at 62 so that it's not chasing frames all the time. Aaron, which aircraft? Hello to you as well. Oh, the CRJ. Does anyone else have issues on takeoff and landing because the rudder still has full nose wheel steering authority even with the tiller option selected in the EFB? Probably. I probably haven't noticed it, to be honest, because you kind of get used to the twitchiness of it during the takeoff run. Bring that throttle down a little bit more. And we can think about starting to slowly decelerate now. the rest of this is going to close in on us fairly quickly. Where are we now? We're at Alpha Romeo Sierra VOR.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, holding flight level 110, turning right for flight level 80 via Alto 7 Mike, Stockholm.
Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo is passing Aros at VOR. Flight level 150 for 110 inbound LTOC. LTOC 7 Mike expected for ILS 01 left, Arlanda traffic. And put any of the screenshots in there yet, into Valanta, because it's been such a short little hop. Set the speed bug to 245, and I'm going to then let her descend on idle. Bring that vertical speed up a little bit as well, so 1,800 foot per minute should help us decelerate gently towards LTOC. From there, actually, I might allow us to continue to decelerate, aim for 235-ish knots. Adam Thies flying along today, Osprey 124. Adam as well, Osprey 1124, Osprey 484 Golf for Zato. Ourselves, followed by Osprey 3400 Uzi, are the pilots flying along today. D down to 1100. I'll do 1500. It was at or below, which is fine. Next one's going to be at 8000 at or below. So we can play it by ear basically. Self-vector ourselves in lieu of any ATC being, well, not being present for us. Lena, VOR, NDB's tuned in there.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, holding flight level 8000.
TCAS.
Via the LTOC Mike arrival for 01 left, Arlanda Stockholm traffic.
Arlanda Stockholm traffic, Osprey 484 Golf descending via the Alto 7 Mike departure, expecting ILS 01 left. We are 15,700 feet, descending to 3,000 feet. We will call on the downwind.
$1,400 through 10,000, speed's good, lights set, signs set, landing elevation, pressure, everything's set. Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo is passing LTOC. Inbound Lena. Okay, so both navs have both now auto-tuned to 1099. Got to make sure our charts are ready for our approach as well, because we need to make sure the course is set to 004 degrees.
Arlanda Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400.
That was bumpy.
Descending to flight level
very choppy.
4000. Turning left
Frost.
to 095 degrees for Aljak. Arlanda Stockholm traffic.
As the first unfriendly reminder that this doesn't have the auto thrust.
And Arlanda, Stockholm, Q1H1036 for Osprey 3400.
So 2,500 feet is where we want to intercept the glide slope from. That's fine, James, but you get the immersion from people using Unicom nicely as well. And the enjoyment that you're all flying together, but in a proper way, if that makes sense. Here we go.
Arlanda, Stockholm, traffic, Osprey 3400, descending to flight level 3500 feet for 01 left, Q1H1036, Arlanda, Stockholm traffic.
Feel like somebody's bunched right up. Is that Zato behind? I've got somebody on TCAS there. SA854 is out below 8,000. We're crossing that now, just at 7,300. We'll continue down to 6. Because of that QNH difference. In fact, let's continue it down to 5, so then we can go to local pressure. 5 at Lena apparently, so we want to be
the traffic Osprey 484 Golf.
before that.
Turning right, they're heading to waypoint intersection Sierra Alpha 820. We will call when we're on base for the ILS 10 left. Stockholm.
Okay, now it's flashing at us to get out of local pressure to QNH 1036, wasn't it? Look at the altitude go up now. (1036), 1036.
Arlanda, Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, established runway 01 left, Q1H 1036, Arlanda, Stockholm traffic.
Heading mode active, selected, nav source lock 1, course 004 18 miles, on the charts that matches 004 109 decimal 9, and then down here demi hold 1099 to lock it in. Shut says that's always promising just before finals. Flew the CRJ the other day, don't know if there's an issue with it in Sim Update 12's new turbulence model, but I was bouncing all over the place on final. Brilliant. Let's get rid of the music. Where are we? So, continuous ignition on, lights and signs. Passing Lena. Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo is passing Lena 5,000 feet, QNH 1036 inbound for the ILS runway 01 will report established. Arlanda traffic.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, established
25.
runway 01 left, on final, Stockholm.
There's the banana. Letting it stabilise. In here, thrust reversers, get armed, that's set, missed approach briefed. James, no, with the CRJ is unique because of its rear mounted engines here. If you apply thrust, during final approach, for any reason, what you'll get is the aeroplane will pitch up. Pitch up, pitch down. One of the, I think it's adverse, so when you apply thrust, the nose pitches down, so you've got to be careful of that. Performance, VREF set, 141. We'll add 5 for 146. Bring that in again. Lock mode is active, so that's armed and ready. $14 miles, flaps 1.
Stockholm Arlanda traffic Osprey 58484 Golf. Passing waypoint LNA inbound for the ILS 01 left. Will call when established.
I hope your speed's good. I'm going to start slowing down now. You're very close. Have I forgotten anything? Don't think I have. Continuous ignition. There's no auto brakes. It's down to us. Thrust reversers are armed. Spoilers deploy themselves on weight on wheels. I'm trying to keep my speed up here.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, departing runway 001 left.
Yeah, it's a unique jet, Aaron. If you apply thrust on final, I might end up making the mistake myself in a moment, but if you apply thrust on final, what you will get is adverse reaction of the nose pitching down, which is what you don't want. So you've then got to be very careful with how you trim the aeroplane. I'm going to try and help Zato out here. 7 miles. In fact, I think Zato's behind. If he goes wider for a longer final, then we'll be good. 004, 034 inbound.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, taxiing Yankee 5, Yankee for apron Alpha Bravo, Stockholm.
A lot of turbulence here.
Arlanda traffic, Osprey 124, 7 miles above Lena VOR, and we report established flight level 01 Arlanda.
I'm going to cut final in slightly. Flat 15, 180. No, flat 20, sorry, 180. Heading mode, approach mode arms. Let's see what it does. It's established it too early. Lucas, no, because I don't have X-Plane 12. I'm not probably going to ever purchase X-Plane 12 either, to be fair. Looking for the needle to move. Wow, this is bumpy. There's the runway. Needle's moving. Approach is active. Lock 1's green. Glide slope's armed. First time flying the approach in this as well, so not really sure what to expect. But we'll see what happens.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, taxiing to gate 16, Stockholm.
Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo is established, 6 miles ILS 01 left, speed 160 till 4. Full flap. Glide slope's alive, it says, but actually what it's done is it's kind of lost the glide slope a little bit there. 160 till 4. 4 is almost coming up now, so let's get proactive. Raytran, hello. We don't have an ATR in MSFS, so this is the best option. It is what it is. Plus it's a nice route. Get down 3 green, flaps 45, cross reverses arms, lights and signs, continuous ignition on. And my aeroplane. Control visualizer for you guys so you can see what we're doing, how I'm manipulating the controls for our approach. We have got an issue with this scenery in the GSX profile as well, so gate F, which I think is terminal 5, is quite bugged according to GSX with the profile that we've got. We'll try our best, we'll see what we get. So that'll be out of our hands though. Huggy Freestyle, welcome. Variable winds, but they're 16-17 knots in strength looking at the nav display.
Golf established on the localizer. Fully established on the ILS 01 left. We'll call 5 miles out. Arlanda traffic.
300. 200.
Oh, a little bit of sync there.
Minimums.
Continue.
100.
Oh, sporty.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Not the best touchdown there for centerline deviation. Reverse green. Try and get off for the other guys on this one because they've ended up bunching up way too close. Arlanda traffic, Scandinavia 22 Bravo is vacated, Yankee 4.
Arlanda traffic.
Nordic flight says gate Foxtrot 53, belt 6 for today's flight.
Put it on 5 miles out. Runway 01 left.
There we go.
Arlanda.
We'll do that one then. With SAS. 2, 3, taxi lights on, centre lights can stay on, strobes can come off. Continuous ignition. Off. Get rid of the flaps. We'll leave the auto thrust reversers set to on for now, and we can change the range back across. Flight directors off. APU start. Need taxi. Park stands. Arrival route. So we go Yankee 4, aren't we? So Zulu Hotel. Foxtrot 33 Pier F. Oh, it's all the way down the bottom, that's fine. Carlos, hello. Thank you for the tip about GSX. Hopefully this this will be okay. Hey, that's not a bad touchdown. Look at that. The little red dot on the top left. It's actually on the centre line apparently. I'll take that. So we go all the way round to Zulu Papa before turning in for stand Foxtrot 33. Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 22 Bravo is taxiing to stand Foxtrot 33 via Zulu and Zulu Papa. What do we got?
Ladies and gentlemen, for safety reasons, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Keep seat back and table upright. And leave cabin baggage in place until the fasten
APU's running.
has been switched off. We ask you to open overhead compartments carefully.
Flaps are up, 0.
From falling out.
Brake temperatures are good.
We hope you have enjoyed this SAS Airlines flight. We thank you.
Just reset our takeoff trim a little bit there for the next route, just to help us. And down here we can pop the transponder onto standby. I think this is us. No, it's not. Definitely not getting lost. That's Zulu Kilo. Zulu Lima. Okay, yeah, no, we know where we're going. We're going past the fire station then. Happy days.
All on the traffic, Osprey 124 short, final runway 01 left.
Stockholm Arlanda traffic, Osprey 484 Golf, vacated 01 left.
Thank you.
Zulu Lima. Mike November Papa. So third junction on the right. Stand 33. Let's see what it gives us. We might have floating GSX assets. That's apparently a problem with this GSX profile at the moment. The creator's aware of it but hasn't fixed it at any point. Says he will in the future at some point. So who knows when that will be. And we're parking there at that pier actually, in the middle. Zulu November. Past that. Lima Bravo, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. Great to have you with us today. Turning in. Get the recognition lights, or the taxi lights on rather, off. Rope heats off.
All on the traffic, Osprey 124 vacated, runway 01 left. All on them.
Fourth one in. 39. There's the ground crew. Oh yes, is that a tug on the roof? I think it is. And the GSX VDGS on the roof as well. What a mess. Oh dear. Hey, it's as good as we're gonna get. Oh dear. How are we even meant to park like this?
On the traffic, Ryanair 900 Bravo is 12 miles out of runway 01 left.
Oh, what a mess. Good, isn't it? I'm having to look at the VDGS from above, in the sky.
All on the traffic, Osprey 124 taxiing to stand Foxtrot 37 via X-ray Zulu Papa and Foxtrot Papa, all of them.
Howdy. I can see the word stop. That's all on. That's all set. They're all set. Let's turn them off anyway, because I feel like that would be the sensible thing to do. AV gens are on. Light signs, and then lock the throttles back into cutoff. Set. Aircraft. Wheel chocks. Crikey, Zalta, that's good work. That dirty jet. Beacon lights off. Passenger door closed. Wheel chocks are in place. Passenger door. Guardrails down. GSX. Let's see what happens, shall we? Request deboarding. Let's watch this absolute chaos. We're gonna get floating all sorts. Around they go. Osprey in the backdrop. We have to end new sky. I got 9.72. Little bits of points deducted there for off centre line, takeoff and landing. Yeah, it looks alright, doesn't it? That actually, the passengers are walking up the jetty too. Right. Back to new sky to plan a new flight. Book flight. Discord. Gotta get the doc approved flight plan. Aft cargo, forward cargo. There we go. How's that? ESSA. $1,400. No, 1350. It gives us 25 minutes. 1355 gives us 25 minutes. That will do. Got a few more taxiing in and parking up. Only 90 passengers though, so that's nice and easy. I'm just working at generating the flight plan in SimBrief at the moment while we watch people taxi on in. It's meant to be 08 departing. Arriving 03. Ask 3 Lima. Flight level 300 for cruise.
Stockholm Arlanda tar ut Ryanair 150 on Finberg French and 33. Stockholm Arlanda.
And we're going to pre-file this on VATSIM now as well. So we're going to log out of VATSIM, log back into VATSIM with the new call sign, which is going to be... Once I've got it set.
Arlanda traffic, Ryanair 9 Bravo, 01 left gate.
Scandinavian 161. So, ask 3 Lima. 08. Flight level 300, and then we're going to be expecting the Moxam 3 Lima back into Gothenburg. ILS 03 arriving back at gate 15, which is the one I think we left from initially. Live figures at 40 asking, does SAS, does the Scandinavian Air Service have many CRJs? They've got a few, yeah. One operates into and out of Heathrow fairly regularly. It's really nice to see. Gonna log out and log back in. Scandinavian 161, CRJ9. All the new flight plan, bingo. There's that floating BDGS. And this guy floating on the, what I assume should be the tug. Oh dear. What an absolute mess that is, eh? Baggage unloading in something, don't know what that means. And we'll request boarding as well. So basically we're now queuing items inside GSX. In the meantime though, what we can do is fire on into the aircraft, begin prepping for the next sector, because there's a little bit of work to do with this. It's a little bit more hands-on for us. So index, we'll start POSing it. There we go. Foxtrot 33. Lovely. Good, so it does think it's in the right place. We're going to go to next page, take an IRS position, refresh it, flight plan, ESSA to ESGG. Alternates today. I'll have to dig that out actually. Where is it? On the Simbrief flight plan. Copenhagen. We could use the Simbrief OFP thing here actually, so you guys can see what I'm putting in. EKCH. So 2 ARS. From ARS, the November 623. To Bedla. November 866. To Lapsey. Moxam. Direct. And then the arrival. So we're going to execute that. Make sure it's committed into the aircraft. Scandinavian Air Service Flight 161.
Do you want to deboard crew?
No. What have we got here? Let's see. Start new flight. Add flight plan. VATSIM. Short sector, but what it's done is it's failed to upload half of the screenshots from that previous sector into Volanta again with those that server issue that it seems to always have. Right, next then. So that's done. Legs look good. Perf init page. So we now want to kind of match on the right hand side the data to the left hand side, which is then pulled from SimBrief. So passengers 89, cargo 1634, zero fuel weight 31222. Oops, wrong one. $31,222, 224, so we're going to go 541. It's my bad maths. Guesstimations until I get close, basically. That's how that's how I usually do this. Block fuel 3642. Set. And our route is at the bottom there that we've just put into the aircraft as well. So with passengers, cargo and fuel set, we can set payload in simulator. There we go. That's now given us all the data we need. 31222, that matches. Takeoff weight 34637. Interesting, this is 34864. So I'm going to add another 100 kilos of fuel just in case. Doesn't really change the data massively for us, but it's just something for us to bear in mind. So that gives us a 0 fuel weight, 31222. Just writing this down, 16.4% 0 fuel weight centre of gravity. Takeoff weight 34.9. No, 35 actually, rounding up. And the landing weight we don't have here yet. That's fine. Copy perf init data to FMS. So making sure we're on the perf init page, we are. We can click it and it will then copy it over here. So we can have a look, cross check on the left hand side, set our cruise, flight level 300. Alternate cruise to Copenhagen. That's quite a long one actually. Alternate cruise is flight level 270. We're going to execute that. And we'll get rid of that because we don't need to see that now. Is JSX still boarding? Mike says, talking of Heathrow, did my first Heathrow yesterday with ATC. Nice work. Is that only baggage just unloading now? Good grief. They want to hurry up. What if we could change the speed of that? No, we can't, it seems. ISA deviation. -2. We could put in some average winds there as well if we want to, but from memory I tend not to bother with this aircraft with that VNAV setup. It's 5,000, wasn't it?
Stockholm traffic,
yes.
Osprey 3400. Gate 16 Alpha Bravo. Pushing back facing west for runway 01 left. Stockholm.
Execute the VNAV. So it's giving us our target speeds. Before we could probably change that to max 78. Execute. We could do to 290 again like we had on the way out as well. Max 78. There we are, like so. Cruise altitude, flight level 300. 5,000 for the VNAV's all good, and the perf init page is set. In the radio page, we go to the back tab, change the flight ID to our new call sign 161. And then we can put our departures in. So expecting runway 08 this time for our departure on the ARS-3 Lima. Or the AROS-3 Lima departure. Execute. And later on in the journey, we're expecting Moxam 3 Lima. It's a very short flight again, so let's put the arrival in before we get there. ILS 03 with vectors. And we're going to go next page onto Moxam. Next page again. 3 Lima, so it's that one there. Execute. Arrival data gives us the ILS frequencies and things that we can expect. Boarding requested now, good. 15 minutes to pushback. This is a rapid turnaround. We're working on it. Chop chop folks on the ground. Legs. So. Hello Ori, welcome. And Aviation 23 in Newcastle upon Tyne. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us today. On Navigraph. Runway 08, it's a nice short taxi here actually, but the runway length is a lot shorter, look, 2,500 meters there for runway length.
Passengers boarding starting.
So, push start facing north, out onto X-ray 2, so basically just straight out across all of these junctions onto X-ray 2 to hold runway 08. AROS 3 Lima departure 08 is going to have us outbound towards the east of the airfield first 600 feet before turning all the way back on ourselves to 2,500 feet, maximum speed of 205, dead outbound at 240 degrees to fly almost like a downwind leg out to SA 851, SA 723, and then 261 degrees to AROS, which is 112.8 at Stockholm Airport. Initial climb clearance of 5,000 there, so we can set that as well. And then the journey is very similar to what we've done, but the opposite direction. We're just flying a little bit further north before heading southwesterly towards Gothenburg. But we get a bit closer, the green is Moxam's 3 Lima arrival for the star. 205 degrees to GG920. 921 is at the point where we're 30 miles to the threshold for 03. Track miles, that is. Down we go to GG735, 20 miles to the threshold there. 5,000 feet at or above. Turning round over the coast, over the bay rather, or the coastline, to GG708. And then straight in approach, like so for the ILS. Short taxi once we do arrive, so we vacate probably on Echo. If not, Foxtrot, short taxi back into the terminal area, arriving back into Orbx's newly updated Gothenburg Airport.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, taxiing via Zulu, Yankee, to Yankee 1401 left departure, Stockholm.
Parking stands and departure routes. That's that one. So we're going to push start. We're going to get out of... Yeah, it's pretty much just straight over. So Foxtrot Alpha, cross Zulu Papa, and then X-Ray 2. The whole point 08. Very, very easy pushback and departure routing for us there. We need to make sure all the data is correct though. It does match what we are expecting in here. The speed constraints, the altitude constraints. Discontinuity further in towards GG708, that's fine. We need to connect the two, so we'll get rid of that. That's the transition out of the star into the approach. There's the gap there for that discontinuity. We can remove that safely without causing any problems. It will link the star into the approach straight away without us having to worry. VNAV's done, departure arrivals are done, Flight plan is set. Radio page is done. VNav is active. Perf page. Actually, we're going to leave that blank because I want a proper high-speed takeoff today. So we'll do tow based on our weights and speeds. What else did I need to reset? I needed to reset something. Good grief, what was it? Altitude, 5,000. V-speeds are set. Bring the range in. We need to go nav source back to white, FMS mode. Ah, yes, lock hold. Let's get rid of that. So that can now tune 1106, I think, is what it's now snapped to. We need to make sure that is correct. It is. Arlanda 116.0. Happy days. Flight directors can go back on. Rab's just departed in the 146. Nice work. That's awesome, Adam. We've got to keep that up. 100%. 40 out of 89 passengers boarded. Worryingly, the baggage hasn't even started being loaded yet, so that's a bit of a concern. We might have to sack that off. We'll give it a few minutes. Stonners, good afternoon. Hopefully you've recovered from nights. I hope they weren't too crazy, too busy. Well, when are we supposed to be off blocks here? 13:55. Okay, so we've got five minutes before we want to get that tug connected. Really, passengers almost done. They're really slow, aren't they? You think you'd be able to kind of speed it up a little bit, wouldn't you?
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, transitioning taxiway Yankee for Yankee 1 and lining up runway 01 left for immediate departure, Stockholm.
Actually, we can wheel this round a little bit. Exactly, MPS Gaming. It's like they don't worry about the on-time performance of Osprey Airways. Oh dear. To be fair, the free Stockholm Arlanda that's included inside Microsoft Flight Simulator from that Scandinavian World Update over a year ago, I think it was created. I think it was created so that it would actually look quite nice, and it does look pretty good. I think Gaia Simulations did create this one. Well, that's as far as we can go. That's our limit point for the jetty with the drone camera not being in the way. Have we run the numbers? Yeah, so runway condition dry, flaps 8 for departure, 7.2 for the takeoff trim. I think it's doing this weird thing where with the CRJ it's not allowing us to board the baggage until we've boarded the passengers, which is a bit weird. So what we might do is we let these get on. Jeez. What we might then do, yeah, we'll let these get on, and then we will probably restart QATL so that we don't have to worry about waiting for boarding, because we've got to get moving in 5 minutes according to on-time performance calculations. Nav lights are still on. APU's available.
Stop traffic, Osprey 3400, departing runway 01 left.
So Navigraph's done, New Sky's done,
Transitioning by
Valanta's
the
ready to
R5
go.
Charlie departure. Stockholm.
Your seat never asks you to step aside to let those behind you pass. We would ask you to place your cabin baggage.
I'd definitely say Manchester, living on a player. Macro Simulations Manchester. It's £9.99, it's about $13 roughly, 14 US dollars. Really, really good. Certainly worthwhile getting that. Ah yes, what's the runway heading? 070 degrees. Really? Wow, yeah, runway 08 is on a heading of 070. I need to update the runway numbers then. Get the charts updated. Interesting. APS Gaming saying there, it sounds like there's an issue. Knows what's steering off. There's an issue with Gothenburg and GSX interacting with each other. Right, I'm going to restart QATL.
Arlanda traffic, Osprey 124 pushing back stand Foxtrot 37, Arlanda traffic.
Okay, cabin pressure set, boost pumps on, jetties being cleared, tugs being attached, pressures, everything's set, hydraulics are all set, windshield heat set to low, and we'll pop the beacon lights on as well. CAS checked, MCP set, takeoff trim is set, landing elevation is set.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
They're fine. Where's my options here? Ah yes, synchronized. That's what we want. Oh, and aircraft. Oops, door closed.
Locking gear.
Wheel chocks removed. Beacon lights are on. Continuous ignition mode on. Left and right boost pumps set to on. Recirc fans, we'll turn them off for now for startup. Yeah, ready for push. Checking behind. Ah, doors. Position 33.
3400 airborne runway 01 left, climbing to 5000 via ARC 5 Charlie departure. Stockholm.
Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 161, stand 33 left, Foxtrot 33, push start spot 33.
Commencing push.
Off he goes, give it the beans.
Start at wheel.
Get rid of the music. Left engine start. Down here. Delta Tango, hello, welcome. Nice. Sounds like a busy day for you. Through 20, unlock the throttle and pop it into the idle gate. Let's see where the tug operator gets us positioned. Similar flight time, about an hour to head back to Gothenburg.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400, climbing from 5,000 through to flight level 180. Stockholm.
Engine 2 start. Unlock. Idle. Set. Safety demonstration as well.
Demonstration av en nödutrustningen ombord.
Listen, parking brake.
Hörlurar och lyssnar uppmärksamt. Will not perform a safety demonstration, so please move your headsets and take
Arlanda traffic, Osprey 124 taxiing to runway 01 left via Zulu Delta Yankee, the Holy Point Yankee 1 Arlanda traffic.
Your seatbelt is fastened and open like this, and always keep it fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on.
Clear that.
We do recommend that you keep your belt fastened.
Mode white, set.
Arlanda traffic, Nordic 458.
Thrust reverses, arms, engine stable, continuous ignition remains on. They're all set, manual crossflow override, APU off.
Place it over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Adjust the strap to hold the mask in place and secure your own mask first before helping others.
7.2 is set.
You will find your life vest under your seat. Pull the vest over your head and pass
Rope heats on.
around your waist.
Tow tube disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
And APU door closed off.
Stockholm traffic, Osprey 3400.
Trims set neutral.
At flight level
Gas
10.
checks. Manual crossflow reefer soak fan off. Continuous ignition. Seatbelt signs. No smoking. Hot brake on. Left right reverses. Arms. We'll do some control surface checks.
Look for nearest exit as may be located right behind you. Smoking and the use of electronic cigarettes is not allowed on SAS flights, including in the lavatory.
Couple of rudder checks. Nose wheel steering goes arms because that's the one I always forget.
I ask you to do so carefully to prevent baggage from falling out. Thank you, and we all wish you a pleasant flight.
I think that is all of us, all of the checks done pre-takeoff. So QNH set, speeds are set, they're all good. Autopilot set as required, taxi lights on. Signs, lights and signs. Fire brakes off. G's off. Orlando traffic, Scandinavian 161, taxiing to hold point X-ray 2, runway 08. Via Foxtrot, correction, Zulu Papa, and X-ray. Orlando traffic. 2 stages of flap to give us flap 8, and we should get takeoff config OK. There it is. And we're about to head back then to the new Orbx Gothenburg V2. I think, is it version 2 or is it version 1.2? Because in my Orbx program it says 1.2, interestingly enough. Unless it's not updated that little element of it. Is it true to life, MPS Gaming there? Let's pop the transponder on. 1.2, yeah, there we go. Aros 3 Lima, I'll have departure. And the VOR is indicated by the magenta line. Click that one to FMS2 for us to follow the flight path, so that's going to be blue for flight path, red for the VOR. Over both junctions. Left and right clear on both. And we can pop the nose light on as well. 1036. METAR again as a reminder, wind 030 degrees at 18 knots, Cav OK 12 degrees Celsius -4 and the QNH 1036. So we've got a really significant crosswind actually for us to think about for our departure today. And with that in mind, I'm looking for a windsock. I can't see one. Ah, there it is. Jolly good. So that's going to be key for us, because like the 737, when we talked about crosswind departures, the wings on this aeroplane are very low to the ground, and it's going to be incredibly easy for us to basically wing strike this if we're not careful. So what we're going to do is employ the same tactics. We can see the windsocks actually gusting all the way across. It's horizontal pretty much, mostly across the runway. With that in mind, we're going to get the stick into wind. Not that much maybe, we'll just play it by ear, but it's going to be probably deflected about that much as we rotate. And that's because we're also going to have the rudder pedals set to maintain that centre line throughout the takeoff roll. So we're going to have our work really cut out here to try and not smack the wings off the runway. Strobes, landing lights, continuous ignition, auto flow, manual cross flow, APU's off, lights and signs, takeoff config set green, reverse arms. Orlando traffic Scandinavian 161 is lining up via X-ray 2 runway 08 and taking off Aros 3 Lima departure. Orlando traffic. And we're going to use as much of the runway as we can because it is a small runway.
Arlanda traffic, Nordic 458, taxiing Yankee 1, holding
JHKI, welcome. We are taxiing out of Arlanda back to Gothenburg now, so we're about to fly the second sector today. Get the control visualizer up, so that's going to show you the deflection of the aileron on the bottom left for you guys watching, wherever you are in the world. We're going to hold it on the brakes. We're going to engage toga mode now. Going to get the stick into wind now. Off the brakes, toga. Look at the deflection of the ailerons still, folks, on the left hand side on that control visualizer. 100 knots. Accelerating away. V1, rotate. Oh, might have almost did a tail strike there. Positive rate, gear up. Crikey. That was playful. Anyway, we're airborne. Jeesh. Gear up indications. All three are up. We're going to go nav mode, speed mode, autopilot engage. Controls released. Autopilot's got the con. Thrust reversers disarmed. Up here, we'll pop the taxi lights off. Continuous ignition off. Manual crossflow override off. Yeah, I think the last 4 rows did throw up. Okay, and turning. How are we doing on the departure speed actually? Hold on. .205 max. Climb gate, up we go, and we'll keep her going up to 300. Slats and flaps cleared away. Quite a steep takeoff here actually. Let's climb out. Look how high we are already from Arlanda there. Just over the T there, so we can get rid of that. Look at that steep climb, wow. It's almost like performance departure. Heading out away from Arlanda there. Arlanda traffic, Scandinavian 161's airborne 5,000 feet at Sierra Alpha 424, outbound Aros. Bring that speed up.
All of the traffic, Osprey 124,
250.
taking off runway 01 left, then gonna fly runway heading for white for spacing.
That's all good, that's all set. Continuing up through 10,000 then in a little while, where we're going to sort out the speeds and the landing lights. Rez did a flight from JFK to Dubai yesterday, took a total of 12 hours and 30 minutes, wow. Delta Tango is saying Air Wisconsin flew the BA146 for United Express from Madison to Orlando, K-Ward, so Chicago O'Hare when he first moved here. It was great fun to ride it. Justin, interesting, weird, don't know what to suggest there. FSLTL model matching should find it, Justin, unless maybe the file's not quite accurate or done right into the ORV pilot with the connection.
Arlanda traffic, Nordic 458, lining up runway 31 left.
Troop, welcome. Through 10. 1, 2, 3. And speed. Let's get up to 290. Yes, the Mad Dog, it struggles with matching those anyway, Justin, because I don't think it's got the Mad Dog in FSLTL yet, but it is in AIG. Only a few liveries are in AIG there, that's the thing.
All of the traffic, Osprey 124, airborne 3000 feet, climbing flight with 300. All of the traffic.
It may well be that they've just not checked something inside the VMR for FSLTL, so it's not actually showing correctly. So Navigraph then for our departure, there we are, Sierra Alpha 723 now outbound towards the Aros VOR. In about 30 minutes we'll be into descent towards Moxham, Golf 920, descending down with the downwind leg, expecting ILS 03. So we can think about things like airport elevation. We need to set that inside the aircraft. 500 feet will be the most accurate, or the closest we can get to there. So we'll set that. And for the ILS again, we should be expecting it to auto-tune. When it does, we need to make sure the course of 022 is correct. And we also select that DME hold function as well to lock it into 1103. Landvetter as well could be a backup. Minimum decision altitude of 678 feet. So we'll tune that in as well, and we're looking to be at 3,000 feet by Golf 708 for the ILS approach. So we'll have 3 miles to stabilise at 3,000 before flying the glide slope 3-degree glide path angle down towards the runway from 8 miles.
A lot of traffic right there, 460 is landing up to runway 01 left.
Sounds fantastic, MPS Gaming. Very nice. That'll do. Delta Tango saying the sim just looks so good. I have to say, bearing in mind we're in 4K as well, Aerosoft have done a really nice job of the modelling of this as well. It looks really, really good in 4K with all the detail within the aeroplane. Look at that. Very, very good. Very nice. There you go, AJ Finani. But then that is an issue with the way that they've done the model matching. They should have cast it so that it picks up any discrepancies. So a CRJ900 would be displayed when somebody nearby is flying a CRJ900. Okay, so what else do we have to think about? It's an auto brake, landing elevation, wasn't it? So 5. We've got to set that. 280. 440, 60, 80, 500. There we go. We have to manually set that in this aeroplane. A lot of little things we've got to do manually. MDA, we can set that as well. We mentioned that. 678. Oops, scrolled that way too fast. 680 is the closest. So we'll round it up, not down. We want to be above minimums to get the minimum call, not below the actual minimums. Justin says, loving New Sky and the virtual realism that it offers, the fantastic bit of extra kit with everything else. That's awesome to hear. That's as good as we can do. The missed approach back in Landvetter is climb straight ahead to 3000, then expect radar vectors for new approach. Nice and easy there. Delta Tango, have a good one, buddy. Enjoy packing. Yeah, a 17 knot crosswind for departure just then, and an 8 knot headwind out of Stockholm Arlanda, according to Navigraph. That's pretty spicy, isn't it? And currently now we've got a 60 knot crosswind as well, flying back towards Gothenburg. Everything else is set. Can't really think of anything else to do because we've got ahead of it because it is a short sector. We've kind of done most of it on the ground, which is nice. It's the smart way to fly these little regional jets, these shorter hops. Great to hear, Rez. We're listening out for that altitude C chord because then we're going to have to take over the throttle. Bearing in mind the CRJ doesn't have an auto throttle system on it. The one thing I do remember with this is it has a supercritical wing. So if you lose in the climb for whatever reason, if you suddenly find that you've lost the energy of the wing and you're struggling to climb, it's because you fall afoul of the supercritical wing surface that the CRJ has. The only way to get around that once you've lost the energy over the wing in the CRJ is to begin a slight descent again, get the energy back over the wings, and then proceed back into a climb. But there are tips like that and more in the CRJ tutorials that I've done, albeit I think they're about a year and a half old now, but they still apply, they still work well. Adam, yeah, I think it's going to be around the same level. Who knows? Might be a little bit more complex. Rez says, recently flown a CRJ from Philly to Atlanta in real life. I have to say it's not the quietest. I've heard good things about them though. I've heard they're quite cool to fly on. They're actually quite nice with the 2 and a 2 layout in the back of the cabin. 1,300 feet to go to cruise. There's the hood. Don't use them though, as we mentioned. Depex. Keeping that heading bug centered as best as we can throughout. We've now got a 72 knot tailwind. Still increasing actually ever so slightly. There's our altitude capture marker, the flight level 300s. And we'll just stick at max 7.6, that'll do. FPS Gaming says, when we're inbound approach Golf 920, look right, there'll be a river from the north and a small lake with a bridge over the river, and that's where he lives. Very exciting. I'll try and waggle the wings for you. Ah, David, what's the difference between the ranges then? I've not known that myself. Bingo, max 7.8. I think that'll do us, won't it? Set the M1 to 84%. That should have us stay in the magenta bug for a little while at least. And let's have a look at some of these. Look at that. Get some 4K cockpit views. Hello James, welcome. Andrew, good morning to you in Canada as well. Have you tried out, or know anyone else that's tried the Lockheed Connie? And also, will I be flying the DC-6 anytime soon? So we flew the Lockheed Constellation about a year and a half ago. It was roughly when it released, approximately. And it was a little quirky, but there were some good things and bad things mentioned in the review, I think, from what I remember. The clipboard thing that they do for the performance calculations, very weird. So we haven't revisited it, but I know it has had a lot of updates recently, and apparently it's got a lot better. Iglet says, bought the CRJ on your recommendation. I now see why you think it's so much fun. That's good to hear. It gives us a lot to do, doesn't it? A lot to manage. I've slightly missed the M1 target for our cruise, so I'm going to have to bring the throttle back a little bit, drop 1%, and let that decelerate ever so slowly to hold inside that magenta speed bug. Easy peasy. Once you learn the little knacks between things like the managing the throttle manually, that sort of thing, it's a breeze and it's great fun. Certainly for these short hops, perfect. It starts. James says hello. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Iglet, good question. Why do you have to reset the heading bug throughout cruise? What happens if you don't? So it's just one of the techniques that they will always maintain. If you have your heading bug set over here for whatever reason, then suddenly you've not noticed, ATC tell you to turn right heading, whatever it might be, you might instantly hit heading mode to switch out of nav into heading by accident, having not cross-checked your heading is synced with your current direction of travel. So instead of having to wheel it manually like you do in the Boeing, this one you can just push it and it syncs into the direction. It's just good habits. Oh, David, that's still a pretty good range, to be honest. Let's add a little bit more throttle, try and get towards 83%. So the speeds are actually a little bit harder to manage on this second sector. So we're setting the speed, letting it stabilise. It's either going above or below the speed bug slightly. I think it's just because of that chopsy wind that we've got, but that's fine. 40 miles to top of descent. Again, the biggest rule here is not to chase. You don't want to have the throttles going up, down, because the speed's going to be it's going to be impossible to manage if you're chasing the speed. You just won't be able to actually capture and let the aeroplane settle with the speed. So you set an M1 and just let it stabilise. So actually I think if we go up a little bit more to about 83, 83.5, that should hold us inside the speed bug. Not too bothered if it stays there, that's fine. Or if it starts to climb up and it stops 3/4 of the way up the speed bug, that's fine as well. Oh crikey, yeah, fair enough, David. Yeah, for you then, that sort of simming that you're doing, the very long haul flights, then yeah, it won't be enough. But then we will have the PMTG 777 coming soon, thankfully. Yeah, you don't need to, as AJ Fanani said, it's just good practice so you don't get caught out when you get a vector from ATC and suddenly find your heading bug is the opposite direction to where you want it and you haven't realised, and instead of turning right you turn left. Iglet, that's because Aerosoft haven't updated it for a little while as well, asking. The CRJ sometimes rocks back and forth trying to track the FMS nav path left and right of the track lines, turning left and right in the rolls. A little bit weird. We had it on departure as well out of Gothenburg at the beginning of the flight today. But yeah, I think it's just because they haven't updated it, sadly. Top of descent in 40. How quick this sector is absolutely flying by. Let's get that back down, there we are. I'm looking forward to jetting around in a 777 to be fair. BA, Heathrow to Madrid and back, that's going to be good fun. Could even do Athens and back in a 777, they did operate that in as a cargo service for a little while during COVID. Christopher, good morning, well good afternoon, sorry, saying too bad that the CRJ is more or less abandonware at this point. The thing is, it still works, as it has done for the last year and a half. It's still absolutely fine to fly. There's just the quirks with the LNAV. They haven't really bothered sorting that out, which is a bit of a shame. I would like to see it updated at some point to stabilise the way that it handles the LNAV track in the nav mode. Otherwise it is a little bit messy, but otherwise it does exactly what it's intended to, and it is still enjoyable to fly. I can't remember when the last time we flew this was, but it's at least 6 months ago I think, and yeah, no noticeable difference in the way it behaves, either good or bad. Yeah, previously they did though, Carlos. It was certainly a good training sector for simmers who do the Heathrow service to Madrid and back. Iberia seemed to be doing it on an A350 now and again, or an A330 themselves, instead of BA operating the service, but it's because they need the BA 777 for long hauls again now that travel has bounced back properly. They're using the Iberia fleet instead for that service with the cargoes, that cargo bolster sector that they like to operate. BA is the lion's share of IAG as well, don't forget. So every aircraft that can make money needs to be put in the right place. Eric saying, will I catch the landings on arrival? Yeah, we'll try to. I didn't on the way into Arlanda because we had a really busy turnaround to kind of try and get managed. But back into Gothenburg we certainly will. Oh, 100%, yeah, Osprey will be doing the route. One thing actually that you may have noticed in the latest FSLTL update is we seem to have an Osprey ATR painted in the FSLTL models. So when that ATR does arrive, we'll be looking at getting an Osprey Airways paint scheme sorted for it. It already looks like it is included in FSLTL, which will have immediate model matching for us then as Osprey Airways operates that ATR. We'll need to set up some Scandi routes for that as well, naturally, and some other bits too. like hops around Greece. Andy, yeah, good question as well. I really don't know, but as keen as anyone else to have it come ASAP. Top of descent, we want to descend down to 5,000 feet. So let's get the wheel spun, set the altitude target. Good grief. 5,000. Vertical speed mode active. It's going to be Golf 735. 2,500 feet per minute. So with vertical speed active, we're going to bring the throttles to half. Begin to bring the nose down. As we cross top of descent, we should get the snowflake and the VNAV guidance ball again on the PFD. And we're aiming for Golf 735, saying it wants 2,500 feet per minute in VNAV, on vertical speed, sorry. And now we've got that set, we should get the snowflake in the centre and the ball in line with that green arrow as we cross top of descent. Here we go, let's see if we've got this set right. There we go, bang on. Happy days. Gonna change this back to 290 on conversion. I'm gonna bring the throttle down a little bit more. Not too worried about the speed slipping away. We'll just have to work out the deceleration as we make our way down. Might have to tweak the vertical speed a little bit as well. On the right hand side, we've got the rad tuning set on the first officer's CDU so that we can maintain or kind of monitor the auto tuning of the frequencies as we get closer as well. We need to make sure that ILS is auto tuned in for us. Range ring can come in again. So we're now in the star. We'll pull the weather one more time. ESGG for the METAR. And I'll put that in the live chat. On conversion, Christopher, so crossing above flight level above flight level 280 will be on Mach. As we cross below flight level 280, we might be flying to say Mach 78 in the descent as we descend through the 30,000s. But ATC might want us to hold a specific indicated airspeed on conversion at flight level 280. So they might say, as we're descending on, I don't know, now for example Mach 69, even though we're below the conversion altitude, but you get the point. They might then say maintain speed 290 knots on conversion, or speed 290 on conversion. So when we come out of Mach into indicated airspeed again, we'll be able to tweak the speeds accordingly and hold those constraints, hold those altitude or speed restrictions from ATC. Christian, hello to you. Everything I see, you fly the CRJ. I want to get back in it, damn you. Hey, go do it. There's nothing stopping you. If you haven't purchased the CRJ yet and you are tempted from today, then you can buy it via Contrail. The link is in the description below. And quite simply, it's contrail.shop/CRJ. And that will take you to their webpage. It has a CRJ bundle within it, so you get all of them. The CRJ 550 and 700, which is basically the same aeroplane, just less seats in the 550. For some legality and technicality stuff in the States, some of the airlines. And then you also then get the 900 and 1000, which are the good ones. They're really fun. Scandinavian Ops, Iberia Express with the CRJ 1000 as well. But naturally, as these sort of things dictate, you need the 550 and the 700 in order for the 900 and 1000 to work. So you can't just buy the one add-on. That's where the bundle comes in. Two, one. Thank you to everybody so far who's hit the like button as well. It's great to see you guys all enjoying the stream as always. It's nice to do something different again as well, isn't it? We haven't flown the CRJ for a little while. So it's good to dust it off, take those pitot covers off and take it for a spin. Remind ourselves of what these add-ons can do. Shootdog, good morning as well. Further up in the live chat. E-Hawk saying the ATR should be a good bit of fun. It's been a while since we've had a new aeroplane to mess around with. Yeah, it's going to be a handful, isn't it? I fear. I think the ATR is going to be a little beast to try and learn, but good fun. Our first turboprop airliner as well for the sim. Very exciting. Yeah, I'm not convinced we're going to see a Dash 8, Christopher. Don't know about you. I just feel like it's never going to arrive. What was the waypoint MPS Gaming said that we need to look for a bridge? He was also asking which is the most difficult to fly, the CRJ or the BA146. I would definitely say the BA146 is a little bit more difficult because there's a little bit less automation and it's much more hands-on. Certainly maintaining the 4 engines as well. Once you learn a flow in this, it is easy to manage. You've just got to spend, when you're flying the CRJ, you've got to be about 10 minutes ahead of the aeroplane to remind yourself of what you need to be doing in 10 minutes and where you want the plane to be, so that it then translates into you operating the aeroplane properly. Otherwise it runs away from you very quickly. Golf 920. Oh, which is next, in fact. So he mentioned, MPS Gaming mentioned about a bridge. ESGG. Okay, it's right on the coast. Wow, okay. What a spectacular place to live. I can't see the bridge on this view though, but I can see the road at Hammer and Cornell. Brunstorpnas. Oh. My pronunciation is some of the best in the world. Shut's asking, are we going to be revisiting the Embraer 175 in the future? It'd be interesting to know how it is progressing. So I was asked that the other day. Somebody had actually taken, I think it was Andy in the live chat, took it out for a little bit of a spin to kind of see what it was like, see how it was behaving. There's Gothenburg. We're back. It's still a bit of a mess. It still can't fly an approach effectively. Golf 920, it's on the nose, so there's the lake. There would be, I assume this road here, that's going to be where the bridge is, right? So that means MPS Gaming lives here somewhere. Christian's go-to is Air Canada Express. Yeah, again, Canada, another fantastic part of the world to go and explore, isn't it? Oops, speed. Let's sort that out. Let's level off for a moment. We'll get the speed below 250 now. Lights, signs. Landing elevation is set. back into the descent. Marlos, good morning. Oh, that river, MPS. So assume that road there actually. ES. There's a little airport here somewhere, isn't there? Not that bridge, is it? Or that bridge, in fact. There's a bridge. That's an actual bridge as well loaded in. Is that where you live? There, look, we're even turning right for you, showing us. I'm showing you the inside of our wing.
Alpha Delta. You might want to communicate with your transition there, mate. Osprey 3400.
Somebody's been told off. Rab says, bit choppy on final.
Gothenburg traffic, Osprey 3400, parking gate 13, Gothenburg.
Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 161, CRJ900 inbound, flight level 77 for 5,000 inbound, currently on the Moxam 3 Lima arrival, expecting ILS runway 03 approach. We'll report establishing, currently abeam the field. 30 track miles, Gothenburg traffic. 1035 for the QNH. 815 is what we've gone for. We want to continue that down to 3. Bring that range ring in. It's max speed of 230 knots coming up actually, so let's make sure that's set on the speed bug. I'll set 235, so the top of the speed bug is then at our maximum speed for that Golf 719er. And through transition, we want the pressure back to 1035, so we're going to fight the altitude here and go up, gain altitude. High pressure, we're actually higher than we are. 1035 set. Nose wheel steering armed, signs on, recirc fan off. Interesting, that's back on again. Landing elevation is set. Left and right thrust reversers are now armed. The ILS frequency 110.3. We're going to go DME hold active for that to lock it in. Commentator, welcome. Member for 24 months, 2 whole years. Epic. Thank you very much for all your ongoing support. He's gone gold as well, so big, massive thank you to you. I hope the new rig is treating you well. It certainly is. It's an absolute whopper. Continue the descent on idle now as well. We're going to go continuous ignition mode on. Seat to Alpha.
I'm telling you, there's no such thing as first class back here. At least with my seat, I'm right by the lavatory, so by the time I'm in my 4th gin and tonic, I can just climb over the guy next to me and cross the aisle.
Love it. Thank you very much for the tip. Enjoy the G&T. Let that speed keep coming down to 180. Let's get rid of the music for now as well. I press pause. Why are you still playing? There we go. Big old crosswind. We're still on heading mode here.
Gothenburg traffic, Osprey 124, gonna continue the downwind for longer downwind for spacing Gothenburg traffic.
Let's go mode green. Course 022 is correct. So we're going to go inbound 052. For a 30-degree intercept. So thrusters versus arms, performance. Oh my god, speed. Auto thrust got me again. Been flying these automated airplanes for too long. Whacking out some flaps real quick. almost triggered a stall there, I think. Okay, we're good. We are good. We're not dead yet. Heading alt. Approach mode's now active. And the line's active too. Lock mode's green. Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 161 is established ILS runway 03. So 22. 22. Gear down, flaps 20, down to 160. I've got one aircraft there that's just taken off, I think, that's not transmitting anything. Glide slope's about to capture. So I'm going to go full flap just before. Exactly, the keywords yet. There was, as my flying instructor from years ago used to say at RAF Cosford, there was no danger. 146 again is what we're going to target. Glide slope is alive. Before landing. Yeah, that's all good. So gear down, 3 green, flap 45, speed's good, glide slope's good, left, right, reverses arm, continuous ignition, lights and signs. Missed approach, 3000, that's set, runway heading is set. Good, missed approach briefed. And I think, for a bit of a challenge, we go off now with the autopilot. We hand fly it all the way back into Gothenburg from 2,500 feet. Has anyone got a call sign for whoever that is in front? I'm just going to go into .aircraft and ignore them. So they just disappear. What are we now? Roughly 5 miles final. Speed, wow, this is choppy as well. 14 knots, so a bit of a crosswind at the moment actually. Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 161 is 4 mile final, ILS 03. Outer marker. Woo! It's like a booking Bronco, this. Whoever that is that's mucking around is now vacated, so that's good. They're out of the way. You did. Let's get rid of the flight director, because that's getting all wonky, it's quite distracting. Oh, Andrew, I'd absolutely love that, buddy. Dream come true, that. Jeez. I've got my work cut out here, hence the silence all of a sudden. Because the speed is very hard to stabilise. And I'm trying desperately to hold this ILS. Oh, for God's sake, who is that absolute twat?
500.
Absolute throbber.
400.
Almost made me go unstable then.
300.
Can somebody get call sign for that so I can just ignore him? And then maybe dot wallop and get him banned.
200. 100.
Looking ahead.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Holding the flare.
10.
Reverse. Green. I think I landed a little bit flat there. 80 knots. Forwards on the stick. We've got no auto brake, remember? So I'm trying to work out the braking for us there. Okay, a delta. Maybe a bit sooner than I needed to. Gothenburg traffic, Scandinavian 161 has vacated Delta, taxi to gate 15 via Yankee. That was a bit spicy, wasn't it? So, strobes off. Nose lights can stay on, they can go off, strobes are off. Lights and signs, APU starting. Got the continuous ignition off as well. And then left, right thrust reversers disarmed. Pop that back onto normal plan mode or normal sort of ops mode.
Ladies and gentlemen, for safety reasons, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Keep
Yeah,
seatbelt
cheers.
on the table upright, and leave cabin baggage in place.
And of course tower would come online now.
Switched off. We ask you to open overhead compartments carefully to prevent baggage from falling out. We hope you have enjoyed this SAS Starlines flight. We thank you enough to see you again soon.
I think it is. It's not that, because I've just hidden him. Oh, there we go. Ignore. Brilliant. Yes, if all of you go into dot aircraft and find that Sierra Echo Alpha India Delta, go and hide it. So it just disappears.
Traffic, Osprey 124, short final line.
What an idiot.
Runway 03,
It's very rare I get triggered, but I've had one of those weeks. There's our touchdown zone. So 03, touchdown aiming point. A little bit of a floaty, but landed in the centre, according to that at least. 434 foot per minute. It's a little firm, but I think we landed a little bit flat, which explains that. Flaps are up, they're zone 0 now. Just taxi on in. In fact, we should probably tune into tower. 1186. Gothenburg Tower, hello, Scandinavian 161 is on Yankee, request taxi to gate 15.
Scandinavian 161, Landvetter Tower, taxi to stand 15 via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi Yankee Delta, stand 15, Scandinavian 161, thanks.
Scandinavian 161, negative, stand Yankee and Hotel.
Yankee and Hotel, stand 15, Scandinavian 161, thanks.
Landvetter Tower, god eftermiddag, Nordic 57, requesting IFR clearance to Kalmar.
Nordic 57, Lavender Tower, I did not
So
see
annoying, we've got ATC right at the end, haven't we? Sod's law.
Sorry about that, we'll call back in a second.
Hey ho. So if you're just joining us, we are back in Gothenburg.
Scandinavian 161, stand 1 pipe to be taken. Would you like to take stand 14 or 16?
Yeah, 14 is fine, Scandinavian 161.
161, take stand 14.
Wilco. Correction actually, stand 16 please, looking at it, I think there's somebody else on the other one.
Scandinavian 161, that works as well.
Göteborg Tower, god eftermiddag, Osprey 124 at Yankee.
Osprey 124, Landvetter Tower.
Wow, someone else needs to take a chill pill. I've got a DM from somebody
Osprey 124, sorry, but taxi to stand 17 via
complaining
Yankee and Juliet.
because I vacated at Delta,
17 via Yankee and Juliet. Tack så mycket.
even though I thought we were at Echo.
Gothenburg Tower, Nordic 458.
Honestly, identify intentional mistakes. And there's a difference with those and unintentional mistakes. Gate 16 was it?
03 degrees, 1 to knots, runway 03, clear to land.
Press follow me no. As a content creator, I should set a good standard. It is displayed on the charts. You are expected to follow that. Wow. They're all coming out tonight. Like I said, there's a difference between a genuine little mistake and making an intentional error. And if you can't tell the difference between that, Edward, that's not my problem, that's yours.
Clear to Kalmar at Laban Free Mike departure, squawk 5334, and information Romeo is current, thank you, nation 1035 at Nordic 57.
Yeah, probably, Rav.
Negative, the departure is
honestly.
3 Mike departure.
Sorry, Topla 3 Mike departure for Nordic 57, thank you.
Nordic 57, reback correct.
He says I should set a good standard. I like to think majority of the times, 99% of those times I set a good standard. I get a little bit miffed if I get told I'm not setting a good standard. Exactly, D-Pod. Accidentally vacating at Delta thinking I'm at Echo.
03 degrees, 1 to knots, number 2.
Versus flying like a knob. They're both as bad as each other apparently. Oh, thank you, living on a player. Appreciate it, buddy. And after all that, nobody's at 14 anyway. APS Gaming, thanks. I don't think I want to fly back here again now. I'm going to have another 2-year break.
Nordic 57 and 12, ready to start.
Oh.
Nordic 57,
Jesus.
Push and start approved.
Those lights, taxi lights. We're having one of those days. God, you have to laugh. I know the other guy was absolutely fine, D-Pod Dolphin. Hey, you know what? If I wasn't so distracted by someone else, it probably wouldn't have happened. BD Jess?
Runner 4682, expect the landing here.
Roger.
I was close. I don't think that really lines up very well, but hey, we'll try, we'll see what happens. That's all good, that's all off. Having a look at this. Dan, hello buddy! Thank you very much. That's all set. Chocks in place. Shoe Dog, thank you, really appreciate that.
Runway 4682, wind 030 degrees, 1 to knots, runway 03 clear to
Beacon off.
Runway 03 clear to enter Ryanair 4682. Nordic 458, 1 kilometer, taxi stand 15 via Yankee.
Seatbelt signs. Oh, look, the jetty's coming in, lovely. Passenger door. Yeah, so Andrew, the next flights today, I wonder if this is going to have a sliding door that actually opens. That'll be quite cool, won't it? That's a bit of a disappointment. Yeah, that's a bit crap. Again, maybe that would have been a bit better with a custom GSX profile. No, actually no, there is a custom GSX profile included with this, apparently. So that's what it should be using. Oh well. Let's flick around, see who we got on approach. We've got to stop the flight on New Sky as well. Oh, quick. Yes, just got the Ryanair touching down. Looking very bouncy and firm. Yeah, the Gothenburg scenery update has kind of been hyped up quite a lot. I'd be interested, like we said at the start, to know whether or not other content creators have mentioned some of the glaring issues with some of the textures landside being pretty rubbish and non-existent actually in a way, or if they've skirted over it because they've had a free copy. Who knows? Have we got anyone else flying in? Oh, that was the last one. God damn it. What I do want to do actually, I might use the opportunity now, but I'm going to stop the flight on New Sky first and change to winter. I want to see those sort of snow plough things and a few other bits. When did I do ATC last, David? A long time ago. Can't even remember, over a year I think. It was whenever Euroscope got broken. Oh yeah, I got a 10. Bingo. Happy days, look at that. Little flight, $6,790 for Osprey Airways there, and the CRJ. Bearing in mind we had that 17 knot crosswind out, departing out of Stockholm. Oh, I'm really chuffed with that. I didn't think I'd get a 10. Not had any contact from VAT UK? No, I haven't, David, actually.
Nordic 57, taxi to holding point runway 03 via Golf.
So yeah, if you were tuning in now and you kind of missed the start, just to kind of brush over it. From a distance this looks fine, it looks really good, doesn't it? But then you start to look at the car parks and you notice that, which is a little bit disappointing. I'd like to see a couple of cars scattered around. The tower looks nice again from a distance, which is fine because we are flight simming. We're over there on the apron, aren't we, after all? But there's no interior to the tower, which is becoming a little bit of a thing these days, where they're really quite nice. And then we've got this too. So again, the roads and things looking a little bit there. Again, for what was hyped up to be a major update to Gothenburg. I would have liked to have seen them add in some actual ground detail here and textures on this side as well. Certainly in the front of the terminal, instead of going to the effort of hand placing these really nice placed flags and lights, they've then just gone, nah, that'll do, and they've just left it on default satellite imagery here, which is a little bit weird. Certainly when they are going to the effort of adding in little signs and things on here, on this side. If you're going to do that, and you're going to take the time to add that in, let's put the road in as well. At least that's my thoughts on it. Hey, perhaps that's why I never got a preview. Because I'd talk about these things as well. Some of it's really nice. You know, we look at the buildings, I'm on 4K and 2K output for you guys, 2K 60 frames per second. If you're not already watching it, you should be able to see this as clear as day as I can on my screen here. And it's very low resolution textures around these parts of the airport. You can't hide from that. We're going to notice this sort of stuff, certainly with these bigger, more powerful systems that some of us can stream on now and show off the sceneries. They're okay, that's quite nice, but again, what's that? There's a different level of detail there. Again, very blurry. But as we saw when we go to the landside section across into the airside area, from a distance it's really quite nice. Really quite nice. I love the little animated ground vehicles zipping around as well, but as we saw at the beginning as well, in case you missed it, this is a huge disappointment. They've not textured the walls properly, so that if you pop inside to have a little, you know, for example, you want to take a screenshot of you boarding your aircraft, your Boeing 777 or whatever it might be, or 737 there, sat on the bench looking out the window, for example. You can't do that because there's no walls, which is a bit weird. Doc says even on 720p I can see it. Did no one else cover anything like this? I would have thought they should have done, surely. There are nice touches within here, to be fair. And the apron area is pretty nice. Can't complain about that. Look at that. It does look really quite nice, but is let down by other elements of the scenery. Let's have a look at snow. How do I change that in Flow Pro? Snow, snow, snow. Bingo. Oh, brilliant. So we can't actually see the ground anymore. Well, version 2, they're not paying for the scenery, for the update. Let me try and sort out the snow. Low vis with snow. Okay, so the apron's wet, but we still can see roughly some of these snowy areas. How do I change? I want to actually physically change. Winter sky with snow. Snow. That looks a bit better. One of the toggleable options here, things like the snow bundles and things like that as well, being scooped up and placed to one side. I'm not sure where they're supposed to be located, but I figured if we actually trigger snow, we might get to see them at least. The snow plows are out though. We unzip through the hangar. Where should these little snow bits be? I can't see any. What is impressive though, I have to say, is the fact that they have excluded the snow from the aprons really nicely here. Taking the time to click each spot carefully to make sure we have no snow on the runways and things like that. These approach lights are very nice as well. Look at that. Really, really nice. And like Flamer Mine is saying, the runways is the redeemer in a way. It is stunning.
7, wind 070 degrees, 12 knots, runway 03, clear for takeoff.
But I feel like they have missed some glaring elements of this. Can't find the snow bundles that they mentioned. Lazarus Kalispera? We've got an aircraft taking off as well, so we'll spot him, we'll watch him take off and depart. Norwegian. There's the runway, look how bumpy that is. That's pretty nice. Justin, have a good one, buddy. That's very bumpy. Look at the undulations. No wonder the landing was firm. Even though New Sky gave us a perfect touchdown score, actually. So what was that? What was the G rating? 1.4 G, 434 foot per minute. Great touchdown. Centerline deviation of 0.97 meters. So yeah, not too bad at all, actually. Though I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Let's watch him bob up and down on this runway then. Right, is that dip meant to actually be that severe? Wow. That's huge, look at that. Well, it better really kind of shown out there. Andrew, yeah, check out Contrail if you've not already done so already. Sim Market is full of crap as well. The majority of stuff on Sim Market is pretty pants. Contrail test, so Lars from Contrail, who maintains Contrail's webshop, actually has hand tests every single add-on before he approves it into the Contrail webshop, and considers yes or no and denies people if the quality is particularly bad. Off he goes, look at that, in the snow, up on the little hill as well, bumping him up. Yeah, contrail.shop/BritishAvGeek, Andrew, will trigger an affiliate link which allows me to basically earn some commission on anything you buy on Contrail, which is nice. All the normal add-ons you would buy elsewhere, to be fair.
Over to Unicorn 1 to
But it means that it helps support the channel at no extra cost to you guys by using that link as well. If you're buying something you're going to buy anyway. So now landside actually looks alright because it is covered in snow. And the car park as well. Maybe that's where they've thought, you know what, we won't bother about the textures on the roof. Maybe we could say they're being slightly lazy with that because it's going to be covered in snow in the winter months. Perhaps that is maybe the thought process behind it. Reasonably so as well, perhaps. It looks alright, doesn't it? It's just let down by a lot of the textures landside. Let's have a look at night time. I'm curious to see what it looks like at night. We'll go to that fiery time of the day. It's my favourite. Yes. We are. We look like the sky's on fire. We go back to... We'll keep it on winter, because that is naturally where we're going to be flying and enjoying these more so than anywhere else. Hey, look at these snowplows working away in the background there. Flashing. That's nice. A little bit of life to see. And the apron lighting actually looks very nice as well. Andrew, no, it's out now. It's been out for about a week, I think. Cargo apron looks fantastic. And the apron is nice and clear. Bearing in mind we've got the snow set at the moment. That looks really good. There's the cafe in the middle. And those passenger buses ready to go underneath. Let's get rid of that snow again. We go back to live weather. Click. Live. Bingo. Back to live time as well. Not bad. Yeah, it's a bit of a 50-50 this airport, isn't it? There are some fairly disappointing elements to it, mixed in with some nice improvements that they've made from the original that was released before. Tomorrow we are off to Liege, Simulation's new Liege airport scenery, huge cargo airport, but we're going to be flying the TUI Fly Boeing 737-800 across to Paphos, the recently released FSDG Rhodes, actually Rhodes, not Paphos. I can make sure I get them right. Yeah, we're flying Liege to Rhodes for the first time. Having a look at the brand new Simulation's Liege airport that's just been released. It's 20-something pounds. It's quite steep for such a small airport, but we're going to give it a look, and I'll be sharing my thoughts with you guys live there. Very excited for that. It does look really good, to be fair. Really, really very good. So excited to check that one out, and what is going to be a really nice route down to Rhodes. For the first time looking at the FSDG scenery for there as well. And then Thursday, I think it is, we're going to be off to AU Scenes Hamilton Island, Brisbane to Hamilton Island. Another double header with some new scenery there. Hamilton Island looks spectacular, huge amount of work done. But we'll have a little chat on Discord actually. Those of you in our members lounge showing green today, pop in the Discord lounge for me whether or not you want to see Hamilton Island tomorrow or Liege. We'll do one or the other, basically depending on what you want to see tomorrow anyway. But we'll let you make that decision in the next 5-10 minutes. Whatever the majority in the club lounge says, we'll get that stream set up for tomorrow, and then we'll do the other one the next day as well for the streams for this week. Thank you to everybody who's hit the like button, Seek to Alpha as well for your tip, and those of you who have decided to subscribe today. It's great to have you all on board with us. Hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. In the meantime, as always though, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more of the same sort of Microsoft Flight Simulator goodness. Take care, enjoy the rest of the day.